Alright, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for After the Rain, Episode 4. Okay.
Alright.
Tachibana. And Mr. Kondo.
Yes, they have discussed things.
They've talked very well.
Yeah.
I think that the primary conversation happening early on like this means that we're going to get kind of the secondary awkward conversations pretty soon.
Sure.
And they might be not just between Tachibana and Kondo.
Well, yes, that is a definite possibility. But the fact that we'll get so much time to explore this interesting dynamic for the relationship is very encouraging.
Very encouraging. Because there's a lot of ways that I think they can, I don't know, kind of mishandle this. But so far they're doing a really good job of taking care of each character in a mature way.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that I really like about this. So looking forward to more of it. So without further ado, let's get into this. It's destiny.
Wait, where was that?
No, this is my shirt.
Oh.
Suzaku, no!
Suzaku, no! Yeah.
Oh,
that's right, because 17 is still around that age. With so many like shows like Haikyuu, for instance, having the third years be like basically like totally adults and stuff like that.
Right.
It's sometimes like easy to forget just how young even the old
17
main character
is.
anime. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized something that might be really symbolic of them kind of running at a steep incline, falling forward together.
Oh, nice.
Like, they have nothing to do but just kind of lean forward and into each other a little bit.
Right. That's great. Because they both, in many different ways, are kind of clueless.
Yeah. I mean, we are all fools in love.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I don't recognize him without his uniform.
Oh, yeah. That's the cook guy.
Yeah.
Casa. It's very, orderly. Oh, and he must have set that up. He had to have set that up. Okay. Oh, getting Kase development. Okay. There were some subtle things going on there. Oh, dang! No, you went gambling, no!
Well, in a month's pay. Oh, boy.
Oh, I see.
Oh my.
You know where his imagination goes off to? It's a very beautiful, like, way to imagine it. But then what's with the lewd, like...
No, that's... Like, I think that's just...
I know what it is, but the timing of it. Come on,
yeah,
Jacob.
The timing was intentional, yeah, but... Yeah.
Right.
No luck, bro.
She didn't even eat it.
Yep. Is he gonna leave his number?
He's gonna leave his number in it.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting development because as it's a, it's another character that's a guy that's definitely interested in her.
Right.
But he's... What?
Oh.
Yeah.
誰にも言わないでもらえます？
別にいいけど、俺とデートしてよ。
はい。
She'll just be like, nah.
俺、今日学校終わったよね。
はい。
着替えに家戻ったんだ。
はい。
I'm getting some weird... One, he's extorting her.
Right.
Like, he is blackmailing her, essentially. There might be some wholesomeness that can come out of this.
Well, right, because there wasn't necessarily any problem with what he was doing up till the, if you don't want me to tell people about this, then you have to go on a date with me.
But the whole thing of, high school,
She's just deadpan.
Look at this angry suited guy down there.
Yeah. They're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god.
お腹とか空いてない？
チケットとパンフとコーラ代です。
お茶くらいしようよ。
I haven't seen a high school textbook in ages. I want to tutor a high school girl.
Well, yeah.
Grabs her without her.
Well,
yeah, I'm getting a little.
Everything before the date thing wasn't necessarily a problem, but.
もう終わったことですから。
でもその相手が45歳のおっさんってキモくね？
帰ります。
Hey, that's the second time.
話してください。
Yeah.
電話だ。相手は。
He's not letting go. Okay. Screw this guy.
出たい？
He's gonna get fired for this is the thing.
No, I don't
Like,
think
he
he
could.
will. I don't think he will. He's gonna be a huge problem. Because he's now gonna be antagonistic towards
right, exactly.
Kondo at the work, and he's going to like leverage a lie or something. Yeah.
店長の行きたいところに行きたいです。
Crap.
じゃあなんか考えとくね。
はい。
She's happy.
And then she's gonna turn around and
He's gonna be right there. Oh.
そんなに好きなんだ。
Let it go, dude.
Yeah.
店長はうまくいかない。
She doesn't care.
絶対に。
Wow.
意地悪で言ってるんじゃないよ。
No, not at all.
もっと健全な恋をしましょうっていう。
Well, that's hardly, Oh, slap him. Slap him.
続きはまた今度ね。
Oh,
No.
Oh, no, we will not.
See, okay. This show didn't need an antagonist. Now, I hate this guy,
お帰
but
り。
Okay, well, we've met Mom now. I think we had met her before, but I don't know if we'd actually seen her or more just
yeah,
heard her.
we'd heard about her, but
Well, I know we'd heard about her, but I don't know if we'd heard her voice even. Like, aww. Hey.
君と店長はうまくいかない。
タバコ吸いたい。
店長、遅くなってすみません。
Look at the difference in,
Yep.
attention to the outfit and everything.
雰囲気違うね。
髪型違うから。
Oh, look at the braids! The braids coming into the back!
yeah. She
Wow.
spent time on this.
She spent so much time. Oh, and she's got heels and she's coming to the same movie.
And it seems like he was the one who chose this too.
Yeah, exactly. And the same guy! The same guy!
Yeah, that's great.
じゃあ帰ろっか。映画も見たし。
It's the complete opposite.
喉が渇きました。オレンジアイスティー一つ。 はい。
Oh,
Yeah.
she's embarrassed because of her
Yeah.
age.
Well, and also because she was here previously.
か
Yeah.
しこまりました。
Wow, look at that. Orange.
45だけど。
一つ。
ああ、砂糖ね。
あ
俺入れない。
すみません。
いいよいいよ。甘っ。この味。初めてのデートでカッコつけてブラックを頼んだ。でもやっぱり苦くて彼女がトイレに立った隙にしこたま砂糖を入れたっけ。
That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my heart. Oh, that's so warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. But
なんだこの店。若者だらけだ。
Oh, oh, oh,
Aww.
oh. I totally understand what he's feeling.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So pretty. So gorgeous.
Okay, what if I don't hope this isn't it?
はい。
But what if it was the other?
Kase?
Yeah, yeah,
ごめ
and
ん立花さん。
and basically he.
Whoa.
あ、ごめん。俺これ
Oh, I think you're
Kase
right.
didn't show up.
周り
Yeah.
の目だけが理由なんじゃない。
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
俺が傷つきたくないんだ。
Yeah. That's what we're all like in love and relationships.
当たり前だ。こんなおっさんと苦しみだけが残ったんだ。
Whether it will work or not,
Oh.
let her decide.
じゃあ、
Yeah.
またガーデンで。
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. How many times have we all been there? How many times have we all been there?
She didn't throw away. The... Yeah.
わかんない。
Oh.
一緒にしちゃうの？誰も一緒でしょ？
Oh.
違うもん。
Oh.
Oh. Smell them.
But your first thing is smell them. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
This ending is so wonderful.
Yes. No, 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 no. Wow. So
Yeah.
we have a
Dick McDickpants.
yeah, we have a guy who it's really stupid because here's the thing that's kind of unfortunate here. I think the first voice. Oh, I just love that that part of the song right there. It just gets me.
Yeah.
But to have this guy Kase end up, being the first one to say this is a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
We reject it because he's being antagonistic towards
Right.
not Tachibana, but most of us, if our friend was Tachibana, we would say this was a bad idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it sucks that they have the first person to say that be someone
Right.
that we can't accept
Yep,
his
yep,
words.
yep.
Because it's coming from someone that
And you just know that the reason he had to go back to the restaurant was because Kase no-showed and took the part-time job thing for
sure.
instead,
Sure. Yeah.
Because he probably figured they would be on a date.
Oh, well, this was such a mixed bag of
Uh-huh,
sweet
yeah, yeah.
and warmth and fuzzy wholesomeness and just creepy, cold,
Yeah.
clammy, like
It makes me think of that line in Pride and Prejudice when they talk about the less deserving of the other sex. Like that is Kase. Like we needed
Kase
Victorian dressed
Yes.
ladies to just sort of come in, with fans
Right,
and
right.
stuff and be like, oh yes,
Kase is the specimen that would make one despair.
Yeah,
the
yes,
entire
yeah,
opposite
exactly.
sex.
Yeah, Kase is the kind of man that makes you despair of the entire sex,
Yes.
And then Kondo walks up,
Yours, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. The funny thing is that Kase enters into the story, you know, as kind of a side character, but they didn't choose to have the other guy who was obviously crushing on Tachibana be kind of the source of this, Yoshizawa.
Yeah.
And by having this new guy come in, what I like about this, I'm going to start with what I like about this.
Right, because there are some good things that they can do here,
There's some good things that they can do here. They can separate the proper response from the improper response when someone realizes that they're not interested in them. Like, that Tachibana isn't interested in them.
Yes.
So, he realizes you basically forced her into a date, dude. Like, you blackmailed her in the nicest of terms into a date. Of course, she's not going to be interested in it.
Right, and then you're continuing to hold it over her, we're pretty sure.
And not only that, like, you and breaching boundaries that, like, I don't care, like, what the setting is for the date and stuff. The fact that you should have been picking up the signals, for one. But not only that, it stops going from signals at the point where she's like, let go of me, and he holds on.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If he were just to, say, like, be an asshole, that would be one thing. Right? And that would still be, I would still hate him. Yeah. But the thing that makes me really hate him is, other than the fact that he probably ruined their date. Yep. Other than that, was the idea that he had the gall to basically try and put water on her fire of the fact that she really likes Kondo, and then say, you should go out with someone that... You should have a healthy relationship with someone else. With someone else, like me. It's like... Like,
there's no... Like, okay, here's something that's actually kind of great about this. I think Kase is actually kind of realistic. I actually think Kase is a pretty realistic character. As far as characters go in a romantic setting, usually the characters that are kind of the other guy, then they don't end up getting kind of any positive reciprocated feelings from girl of interest or what have you. Generally, they don't react so negatively, but if we were to look at the statistics, generally, guys or just people that get rejected, they don't normally respond in the most wholesome and healthy of ways, especially like when they're younger.
That is a definite possibility. I resent the remark that this is the mass 51% plus statistics, but yes, this happens. And the thing
I want to hear in the comments, because how many people have experienced this type of response, regardless of gender? But if we want to go specific with guys, for sure, this kind of you should be in a healthy relationship with someone else. Yeah. I'm not saying that there's anything relating to the older, younger thing here. I'm just talking about guys getting rejected.
Right, because there is a place for saying you should be in a healthy relationship when the relationship is definitely unhealthy, because those exist too. But where do you get off, Casa?
Yeah, where do you get off? Because you don't even know her. You literally just spent like the first time with her you've ever really spent time with her on this date. Yeah. And not only are you breaking physical boundaries, you're offering up your advice without even being prompted for it.
In fact, when it has been specifically made clear that it is unwanted.
Yeah, and then you also stalk. This is the part actually that pisses me off even more. Was he lets go. She leaves to go answer the phone,
and then he follows her.
And then he follows her alone into this kind of back kind of private area, and he basically kind of physically basically puts himself in between her and the exit. Right. And starts just spewing his garbage.
Right. It's a stupid power play thing where and it disgusts me, and
there's a part of me that wished that phone was pepper spray or some kind of deterrent.
That would be awesome, though. That would be so awesome if she did end up
macing him,
basically getting pepper spray, and then at some point, because the thing is, here's the thing.
Yeah.
One of the when with the whole premise of this show, right? Mm-hmm. Especially with the fact that he's her boss.
Oh yeah.
The immediate question is well, that's going to cause some workplace issues, right?
Oh
that's going to happen.
Yeah, forget the age thing. He's your boss.
Exactly.
That already has a lot of problems with it.
So how are they going to handle this? And the fact that there was someone else that ended up crushing on her, it didn't have to have been Casa. It could have been Yoshizawa, right? That would just cause issues, right? Because it's like, wait a minute, so what's going on here, right? And I don't want it to have to be something where Kondo has to rescue her, because one, that's not the type of person he is, but also that's not the type of person Tachibana is, and I want it to become a point where basically he either backs off, right, or it becomes enough of an issue in the workplace that Kondo can fire him. And then the only hope is that at that point it doesn't cause like potential legal trouble or whatever if he basically says, I was fired needlessly because
here's scenario one.
Mm-hmm.
He decides to be a prick about it and he tries to blackmail Kondo, for more pay, for all kinds of other things, by saying that he'll lie and say that he touched Tachibana, that he did something to her. Now here's the part where things get murky on that whole front, and why I don't want them to do this, is that Tachibana can actually state with full thing that there was nothing wrong with any of this, she's
and in fact that there was very much something wrong with Casa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He can go the other route where it's not about legal stuff, but it's about destroying his reputation. This is the thing that's really annoying about this angle here, is that a very realistic and really stupid response that people give when they get rejected. And not only that, they get rejected for someone that they deem to be less than them.
Right, exactly. It doubles down on the whole pride issue.
It doubles down on the whole pride issue, and Kase as a character could flip a switch and basically just decide, you know what? I just decided I really don't like Kondo.
Yeah.
And that type of characterization is something that is way too common, I'd like to admit. It is not as entertaining, though, to watch.
It certainly is not, because here's the thing. Let's say they do something where Kase really just flips out, he gets a couple of his buddies, and they beat up Kondo after work or something. Going to
I'm talking about his reputation.
No, I know. But even if they went to the extreme stuff and things like that, right? The problem is that we're not watching this show for Kase.
No.
To see him get beaten or whatever, or any of that crap.
Yeah.
We're watching it for Kondo and Tachibana.
Yes, so let's go on to the next scenario here, which is where he basically just decides, well then, screw that. The worst thing I'll do is I'll make scheduling stuff for you a nightmare by just being passive aggressive. And that's the worst he'll be. In that scenario, what's really cool here is that the rumors still end up spreading because people just end up talking about them. And there's nothing wrong with it, but people then just kind of go, oh,
right.
Is there something there? And they look at it and it's like, no, there's nothing there. And people ask Tachibana, are you okay? Is he doing anything to you?
Right.
And they come to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, he's the sweetest guy ever. There's nothing wrong going on here at all. And people assume the worst, but they keep proving them wrong.
Exactly, and that's how
the
good can come
that's
from
the
it.
Good,
is because the whole workplace dynamic of the fact, because rumors will spread and all that stuff. So the real question is, how will the rumors be dealt with? So, in the fact that basically Kase is causing that plot point to be brought up earlier, as a contentious point of conflict and all that.
It should be at some point, though.
Right, it should be at some point, but the fact that he'll probably bring it up sooner means that we can get through that sooner. We can get through that.
Oh, really?
Basically, ideally, hopefully.
I don't think they'll get through it sooner.
Okay, well,
I hope they do.
I hope they do,
I just don't think they will.
Because what they've established is that because this show is working on a short time frame, right?
Ooh, good point.
They don't basically they don't dance around the points. They did kind of in the early episodes with the whole idea of Kondo not being sure if she actually liked him, even though it was blatantly obvious. But they did it in a fairly realistic-ish way with dealing with the fact of how Kondo is as a person and his insecurities and everything like that.
For sure.
And for all intents and purposes, we're moving along pretty quick. So if this was resolved by like episode 6, that would be fantastic, because then they will have dealt with that whole issue, and then we've got a whole nother half of the show to basically deal with them, well, going through the relationship. And
right. What I would like to see them move towards after they've moved away from this, because I do hope that you're right, that they move away from this pretty quickly, is that because there's nothing at all predatory in Kondo here, Casa is going to realize he has nothing. He has no. Right. He has nothing he can really do here, short of putting himself in actual like legal trouble.
Sure.
So I don't think he's going to end up doing that all of a sudden. But what they could end up doing here that could be really cool is Kase leaves. He quits. He takes another job because to basically just screw things over for them. But they're like, yeah, that's fine. We'll replace you with someone else. But what I think is going to end up happening is that Kondo has to make, he's the manager. He ends up working the most hours. Yes. He's the one that needs to do the most, stuff there. What I think Tachibana is going to do is she's going to take care of his kid for him. She's going to be his, basically his house sitter. And what that's going to do is that's going to connect her more to the family aspect.
Okay,
of him. And there's a lot of wholesomeness in there, because I think the kid will be very positive towards Tachibana for one.
Yeah, he has been so far.
And he has been so far. Yeah. But what I think will escalate the rumors is that the mom might start to notice things.
Right.
And she will be more conflicted, I think, than kind of immediately like worried. And it will lead to some interesting conversations, and I'm looking forward to those conversations, because I think most of them are still going to be between Kondo and Tachibana. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, but their date was cute.
The date was hilariously cute, and it was also so similar to the previous one that it was just like, oh, Tachibana, she's like, no, please don't assume the wrong thing. I'm not going out with two different guys.
Right, and the whole thing of like, but her imagining running up and kissing him, and him being there and just seeing all the young people and being like, I don't belong here. Like that was so hard. Like the thing of him being like, oh yeah, I ordered black coffee on my first date to try and impress her, but then it was so bitter that once she left, I just dumped tons of sugar in it. What's really sweet about that is that you look at what Tachibana is doing. She dressed herself up really nice. She went and braided her hair with the special braids and stuff, and wore a very, very cute little skirt, mini skirt dress thing, and that's all a part of basically the same thing as him getting black coffee. It's the exact same thing. But the thing is that they're both awkward. Yes,
like in this case, they're both super awkward. There's both things that they wish they were better at, but they can't really overcome those immediately. So,
and that's what makes it so endearing, because the thing is like that's relatable, especially in the situation they're in. Like how would a first date when the person is 28 years older than you and you're 17, how would that not be awkward? Like,
well, I understand how it's awkward. I don't know if it's relatable.
Well, the thing is that okay, it's that okay, certainly in a 17-year-old setting. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
What are you trying to say?
Okay, well, the point is, what I'm saying is that if everything went absolutely smoothly between them, then that would be perfectly fine.
No, I'm totally with that. Yeah. I just thought you were saying the situation was relatable. I'm like...
Oh, no, yeah, so 45 and a 17-year-old. No, I'm not talking about that.
No, I totally... I'm just thinking that, like, it's actually so, like... It's so awkward. We can't relate. Like, it's so difficult to actually understand what that must be like, you know? It's related back by them constantly to their first, like Kondo to his first date, but it's like, oh, this is This is something else. Like, there's all kinds of things bouncing around in his head.
Yeah, and the thing is that basically helps me root for them because it helps make the age gap feel like less.
You relate to his feelings.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes,
because the thing is that, like, okay, premise for a story. We want to make people ship a 17-year-old and a 45-year-old. Mass market appeal. Wow, that just seems like a great idea, you know. How are we going to do that? Okay, well, how do we make the 45-year-old seem like a good match for a 17-year-old? Okay. All right.
And there might be, I think this is something that's not really relevant, but she's a second year. She's not a third year.
Right. Yeah.
She's probably still 17.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
They've done a really good job of making Kondo a very, yes, you're right, like you said, a relatable character. His situation is not very much one that most of us can understand.
Right.
But
the thing is, we can imagine how it would be like that. Because if you take the insecurities that someone would have when they were, say, in high school, right?
Right.
And you make it so that they're never fully resolved, then they're 45, right? And they still have a lot of those insecurities and stuff. And then they're put in a situation that will definitely push their boundaries, let's say. Of what they're comfortable with, then having him work through all that, yeah, of course, like, we totally get it. And then, because I feel like the whole thing that they did with the age thing is kind of the equivalent of if you were going on a date with someone that was around your age, but say you thought they were way better looking than you or something like that, right?
Yeah, they're out of your league in some level.
It felt like some sort of unequal footing, and then you just feel like, I shouldn't be here. You know, what am I doing? You know,
which is great because he's in a bunch of camps right now. He's in the I am too old. She is too young. I am not worthy of her, even if I was like all this. I'm also wishing I was young enough so that I could be, worthy of her. I also am in the camp of where I don't see how she is actually getting value from this, because he's in the denial mode that she actually really likes me, and the thing is, he just previously in this episode previously in the last episode noticed that his little remarks, like you said, made someone's heart flutter. How do you notice that and then think that any of this is like putting dampening on, like a damper on her fire? Like,
it's the noticing but thinking, but I'm not worthy. And the thing is that to have someone that loves you as head over heels as Tachibana is for Kondo, no one deserves that.
No,
exactly. That's the whole point. You know, that's why it's so amazing. If you deserved it, then it wouldn't be that special, would it?
Right.
You would expect it. So the fact that they have this here and he's needing to mentally work through the ramifications of it and
it's definitely one way to put it.
It's really adorable to see.
It's also really scary because what he said in the cafe was that above all he's doing this so that he doesn't want to get hurt. And this is the thing that I'm glad that the show is actually going here, because this is something a lot of romances do in stupid plot lines. I don't want to hurt you.
Right.
Which is usually full of crap anyway.
Exactly.
No one is that selfless. No one. Let's be real here. Most people have rejection in their like top 3 fears, because
I don't know if I can handle that kind of rejection.
Because we don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel I trusted someone to this varying degree, and my expectations were denied. My offering was rejected, because it's attached so heavily to the person's identity. The act of going up to someone and saying, "Hey, would you like to go on a date?" and they say no, there's not like as much of a huge rejection there. The rejection fear comes in when you do get into a relationship, and in the middle of it, then they say, I'm done with this.
Because then you've already dropped the walls, taken off the armor, and
Then it cuts deep. And I'm glad that they're going here, because I don't want two perfect people who end up being
boring.
Oh, we don't want to hurt each other. So
no.
No.
Handle all your problems like adults.
Yeah, Tachibana is awkward and forward. And by the way, being forward is not a flaw.
No.
If anything, I think it's very attractive. But the thing that's, I would say the flaw in that is that she's so in her own feelings right now. She's not really seeing his. And it's something that's kind of cool, because it's not a problem yet. It's not really an issue.
And it's kind of what needs to happen. Like in some ways,
especially in this situation.
Especially in this situation. And she does, she couldn't know that. But with where he's at, that is...
He needs like the most expressed, obvious consent for every little thing from her part.
Exactly.
Because even just...
He's breathing on eggshells. Like he's not even walking on eggshells. Yeah.
And I don't know what the legal ramifications are in Japan, but I know like this is something you do not mess around.
You don't mess with.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
especially when you're their boss. Like
I like
that's like, just like the cherry on top. Like okay, how could we make this potentially even more problematic?
Yeah. Like let's be real here. 98% of it is the age gap. 2% of it is the boss issue.
Right.
But usually in a workplace scenario, you saying that you would get into a relationship with your boss is about like 70% of the problem.
Yeah, right.
With why it shouldn't happen, regardless of what their personality is.
In a normal situation.
In a normal situation. So this is compounded to the point where this is like 35 times more problematic.
It's like, I can imagine it being like basically like a stress test thing for something. And there's already like a skyscraper piled on. So they're like, yeah, just throw an 18-wheeler on top. It's no big deal. Like,
we're already where we're at right now.
It's fine.
I'm looking forward also to, this is the part where I think they could have Casa be dealt with in a way that actually is very cool, is that if this drama gets into the workplace, Casa is outnumbered.
Yes.
Do you know who's on Tachibana's side?
Everyone.
No, like specifically someone who would die for Tachibana now. Yoshizawa.
Yoshizawa, yeah.
Yoshizawa would straight up become the white knight that no one wanted, needed, or even asked for.
And will even really appreciate fully
yes,
after.
Exactly. But he would I will lay my life down for you.
I see him doing something almost like Deku standing up to Bakugo like early on, first episode of MHA, like, Hao-chan, stop,
This is if this goes into the workplace beyond passive-aggressive stuff, which is what we would say we would least like to have happen.
And even if that did happen, I get the feeling Tachibana would absolutely get some mace and just spray the dude's eyes out. But
I mean, if things happen in a kitchen, like there's all kinds of things in a kitchen.
Well,
just ask your local yandere. There's plenty of ways to protect yourself in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I would be, I would consider any and all to be acceptable, given.
You don't even need to go with bladed objects, by the way. You can get very creative. All that boiling soup, whatever.
Yeah, there's a frying pan somewhere on a heater somewhere
that's tangled on his ass.
Bludgeoning and burning damage.
Cast iron skillets cause a lot more damage than Disney would have us believe.
That's a +2 cast iron skillet there.
That has a stun effect.
Dazed and has residual damage over time effects.
So right.
Yeah.
But we're joking. It never actually goes anywhere near there.
Exactly. We're joking. We're having fun with this, but this was a really good episode. It's a little scary. about the whole thing with Casa, but looking forward to more development with Kondo and Tachibana. So guys, thank you so much for watching this reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction, though, right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access where you can chat with us about stories or just whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.